Hey, what's up everybody? So I wanted to take a look at the first fight between Thor and Kratos and actually go over whether the fight was even close or not. So I'm going to treat this like a UFC style match, which basically means it's going to be on a 10-point must system. So at the end of each round, I'm going to rate the fighters between 10 and 7 depending on how they did. I'm going to do my best to track all the stats between the fight, things like strikes, throws, and other, just so that way I can kind of keep account on how things went. Now, as a little bit of a background, this whole fight is taking place because Thor wants a little bit of payback for what Kratos did in the first game to his brother and to his sons. Now, with all that out the way, let's go and jump to the fight and see what happens. Round 1 opens up with Thor snapping into action. Thor lands a hammer-filled uppercut, not only landing the strike, but also initiating a throw as well. Thor pulls up with the collar tie, but the clinch is exactly where Kratos likes to be. Kratos launches 2 overhand lefts, a hammer fist from the right, and then another overhand left. Thor secures the tackle through the environment while Kratos lands another right hammer fist. Kratos dips into his grappling bag, pulling off a somersault reversal mid-air, sending Thor into the environment first. Both refuse to give up the clinch, so Kratos lands another straight left before they reach the ground. Kratos closes the gap and goes for a looping uppercut, a right hook, left hook, right uppercut to the body, and tries to finish it with an overhand shield smash. But Thor blocks it. Smart move on him not to eat that shot. Kratos hits the gas again, driving Thor up against the environment. He tries to go for the weapon summon with one arm while keeping Thor pinned with the other. Thor peeps the opening and nails Kratos with a hard two-handed throw. Thor channels the most slowest moving haymaker he can find and gets caught with a double-armed axe slash to the stomach for his troubles. And that right there brings an end to round 1. Let's go and take a look at the stat sheet. So let's talk about Thor first. He did a great job of level changing and showing a lot of throws inside that round. And he showed zero fear as far as it goes with being up close and personal. Now where he messed up is, I think he spent way too much time in the clinch and not throwing any punches. And he went for several takedown attempts, but he didn't actually take Kratos down. So I can't even give him points for that. Now Kratos on the other hand, he did his thing this round. He did excellent inside the clinch, getting a lot of strikes off. He got a reversal, and in the stand-up game, he executed a pretty nice combo as well. I think if Thor wants to win this fight, he's going to be way more active than what we're seeing right now. And with that being said, let's jump into the next round. Kratos opens the match with a slashing uppercut. He moves in for a second slash, but Thor pulls off an impressive no-hand block with Mjolnir, then counters with a beautiful backhanded counter shot to the body. This sends Kratos flying across the map. Thor launches his hammer. Kratos slips it, snap jab by Thor, followed by a spinning backhanded hammer swing. Kratos ducks it, shot to the body with the axe. Then Kratos goes for the throw. Thor snakes the reversal and lands a spinning face smash. And you can tell on some level, Kratos is questioning why he took this fight on short notice. While Thor spins around to admire his work, Kratos cracks him in the back with a pillar. Thor gets his hands on Kratos and lands a one-handed smash again. Instead of securing the takedown, he opts for a judo throw instead. Hammer throw by Thor. Kratos blocks it. Kratos is starting to pick up on the fact that anytime there's distance between the two, Thor is probably going for a hammer throw. He dismisses the hammer, but Thor uses his recall ability in order to land a strike from behind. Overhand strike from the top. Kratos blocks it. The two get locked up in a test of strength. Short range hammer strike to break the clinch, followed by a devastating two-handed hammer blow to the face. And that's the fight right there, ladies and gentlemen. Kratos is asleep. He is by all definitions KO'd, but Thor is on a different level with his and decides to do this.
Oh no. I say when we're done. I'm not leaving till I see the real you. Get up!
So if Thor's want to let that one slide, I'm gonna have to as well. And on that note, that's an end to round 2. Now look y'all, I'm not even gonna front. Right now, Thor should be walking away as the champion right now. He literally sent Kratos to a loading screen for God's sake. The announcers on the sidelines was even going crazy. But all because this man has an ego, he decided to let the fight continue. Now I'm gonna pull up these stats because I got to, but none of this really matters. He sent Kratos to the Shadow Realm for a whole 10 seconds. I mean, my man had to be rebooted for God's sake. But I digress. Thor pretty much beat him in every single category. Enough said there. Instead of it being a knockout, I'm just going to count it as a knockdown. So there. Now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and move into round 3. Kratos gets the front collar tie and goes for a strong left hook. Right hook by Kratos, but Thor ducks it and goes for the level change. Thor makes a big mistake by not securing the arms while going for this takedown. So Kratos unloads the clip and lands 3 left straights. 2 left hammer fists, and then 2 more left straights. Another incoming straight, Thor blocks it. Thor cancels the takedown attempt and goes for a one-arm shoulder throw instead. Like clockwork, when there's distance, Thor loads up on the weapon throw. Kratos peeps game and does the same. This results in a glorious stalemate between the 2 weapons. Both hit the recall and then go for the weapon strike, which results in another stalemate. Fast forward a little bit, Kratos tries to press Thor with a deep right hook, but Thor beats him to it with a hook of his own. Hip toss by Thor, followed by an uppercut to the body. Kratos responds with a right hook to the face, and then a left hook to the body. Before Kratos can load up another shot, Thor intercepts with a one-handed collar tie and pulls off another hip toss. Kratos rolls out of it and immediately goes for a weapon throw. But instead of going for Thor, he goes for the structure behind him. Unfooled and unfazed, Thor parries the blow. Thor lines up his position with a forearm shrug. Overhand strike, Kratos blocks. Overhand strike again, another block. One last overhand strike, and it breaks Kratos' guard, completely shattering Kratos' posture. Thor lines up the collar tie and threatens with an overhand strike, but Kratos is far from finished. He lays down a headbutt to create some space, and then my man cocks back to another dimension and lands the most flawless right hook I don't ever seen. And you know that that punch was raw because even Thor takes a moment to spit out a tooth and compliment Kratos. I'm gonna run that one back one more time.
Plans for him. There he is. There's the God of War.
And there you have it. That's the end to this match. Let's go ahead and take a look at the stats for the round. And while we're at it, try to see if we can make a case for who actually won this fight. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Thor. He did a terrible job inside this round. He fell for the same mistake that he did in round 1. He went for the takedown attempt, got himself in the clinch, and didn't execute a takedown or a blow while being there. Big mistake on his part. He even became a little bit predictable too. Every time there was distance, he tried to go for a weapon throw. So much so that Kratos actually picked up on it and ended up matching his energy with a weapon throw of his own. And even though Thor got a couple throws off, he didn't really make good use of the distance that he was creating. Now, I will give some credit to Thor at least getting a little bit more aggressive in this round. He went for way more weapon strikes than he did before, but Kratos was able to match him blow for blow, bar for bar. So here's how I broke it down. Round 1, 10-8 for Kratos. He was way more active, he landed way more strikes. Thor got a couple throws off, but that's about it. Round 2 definitely goes to Thor with a 10-7. Like I said, he put Kratos to sleep. You gotta have that round, that's all yours. Now for round 3, I was in between on this one. I almost gave it a 10-9, but I think I had to go with a 10-8 just for the simple fact that Thor wasn't as active in that round. I just didn't see enough from Thor inside that last round to give him more than that. But I wouldn't be mad at anybody if they did make it a 10-9, which would easily make this fight a draw. This is one of those situations where it just felt like if Thor was just active at all, he would have easily taken round 1 and round 3, and this fight would have been his. Look, I'm feeling a little enthusiastic about it, but I gotta say, Kratos got this one. Bruce Buffer, go and talk to him.
Ladies and gentlemen, declaring the winner, and still the undisputed champion of the world.
Well, I hope to do more things like this in the future and possibly even do other things like game reviews and the like. Quick thank you to everybody for listening. Shout out to Zanar Aesthetics for the video. Shout out to my brother and my cousin for what they're trying to do as well on YouTube. I hope their channels end up growing. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good one. I'll catch you on the next one.